Good morning, students. Today we will study another part of understanding laws of class 8 social science. Chapter is understanding laws. Last session we had seen, do laws apply to all? And even we have seen how do people reacted against the British laws. Now in this session we will study the another part of this lesson after the constitution adapted. So after getting independence to the country, our representatives began to make laws for the country where we had aspired, we had dreamed that all people would be equal. There would be no discrimination on the basis of race, caste, birth, region, or language, and that's why we had passed several laws. We had framed a constitution for the country to rule, to function smoothly. Every year, after the independence, every year we have passed a number of laws, and even we have altered or made changes in the existing laws. What are the laws passed by the Indian government after the independence? That one law we will introduce here. So the law, Hindu Succession Amendment Act of 2005. So before this law, the condition in the society was daughters after marriage were not getting the share of property of their father, and that's why that law was passed, that is a Hindu Succession Amendment Act in 2005. And in this act provisions are made that sons, daughters and their mothers can get an equal share of family property of their father's property. And the similar laws also passed, enacted to control the pollution and provide employment to the unemployed people in the country. So number of laws are passed and number of laws are altered and made amendments in these laws. When we are talking about the laws, when these new laws are formed or passed or came into force, so how do people think and propose for new law? How do people think about the laws passed by the government, or how people propose for new law? Another question, how do new laws come about? So there is a certain process in the parliament, and through this process laws are passed, and this process we can try to understand through the storyboard given in the textbook. When there is a injustice to the women, so women can start agitation to protect their rights. They may demand to make the laws to protect women from the harassing of male. So in this way they can rally, they can participate in morcha or andolan. How do the need of law emerge in society? So first of all, different groups in society raise the need of a particular law. So if there is a problem, if there are number of difficulties, or if there are number of unacceptable conditions or habits among the people, so in such case people are not comfortable to the behavior of another people. In such case the different groups in the society can demand, can raise the issue to make a new law to control such unacceptable behavior. And that's why in such a matter parliament is very sensitive to concern the problems of the people, concern the problems faced by the people. And in this condition parliament plays major role in framing the law. So law making's responsibility is on parliament. First of all, we will try to understand the structure of parliament here. So parliament, there are two houses. One is Rajya Sabha and another in Lok Sabha. So Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, apart from this, President of India, this is also part of the parliament. So Rajya Sabha is upper house of parliament, Lok Sabha is lower house of parliament, and including president become the parliament. So this is the formation of parliament in short. We will focus on particular point, that is a domestic violence, and to control the domestic violence, how that issue was brought in the notice of the government, brought to the attention of the parliament. So this issue we can discuss, we can try to understand through the picture story. So before that we will try to understand what is domestic violence, what is the definition or what is the meaning of a domestic violation. That domestic violation means the injury or a harm or threat of injury or a harm caused by an adult male, usually the husband, against his wife. So this is a domestic violence because these people are living in the same house and they have relations in the same family. Apart from this, some women are harassed or tortured by the male, especially husband. And this injury may be in different forms: physically beating up, or emotionally abusing. So this is also injury, physically beating and emotionally abusing. And this abuse also a verbal, sexual and economic abuse. On these three parts, that abuse can be considered as a domestic violence. And that's why to protect the women from this harsh or brutal behavior of the people, the Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005 passed, and this act extends the understanding of the term domestic to include all women who live or have lived together and shared household with a male member who is perpetrating the violence, who is the responsible to violate the laws, that is a domestic violence. And that's why this law is very useful or very safeguard for the women who might be harassed, who might be tortured by the male community. In forming any type of law, citizens plays major role. Citizens plays major role in forming the law because parliament consider the opinion of the people, parliament considered the demands of the people, and that's why citizens are very crucial here to frame the law or to help parliament in making the laws. And every stage, because there are a number of stages, we will see in a diagram also what are the stages to form the law in parliament. And at every stage, the the voice of the citizen is very crucial because people demand what they desire, what is acceptable. People will show the way, and people can participate in different stages of the process, that through TV reports they can make their opinion, they can express their views regarding the laws, they can write in newspapers, they can read in newspapers, they can listen, they can speak on radio broadcast, and even they can conduct local meetings to discuss or to make the awareness among the people. And in this way, what type of laws should be there and what provisions should be there, these are decided by the people, and taking into consideration of the citizens, parliament may act according to the demand of the citizens. So this is the role of the citizen in making the laws. And when people are very aware, very cautious about the laws or their demand, and this helps parliament in framing the laws, which would be more accessible and transparent to the people. And in this way, people are major role in framing the or in helping the parliament to make the desirable laws for the country. Process of making law, or before making the law, what happened in the society, how the people react for the new law or before making the law, we will try to study through the picture story which is in the textbook. So first of all, we will introduce these two women, that is one is Kusum and Shazia. So these are two women are working for the women's organization, and they had struggled a lot to pass the to demand the new law for the protection of women against the domestic violence. And these two women are talking each others, that Shazia said, "Did you read today's newspaper? Isn't it a great day for women? Because that day law was passed to protect the women against the domestic violence." And she said that not just women violence, free homes will benefit everyone. Kusum, it's taken such a long time to get this law passed. In fact, it began with establishing the need for a new law. And okay, so this is the discussion after the passing the law. Now let us see what happened before that. On April 1991, a typical day, and Shazia is sitting there, and Kusum is sitting there. That two women came to her office, and they desired that advice. And the woman said that her husband beat her, and even if she had not told to anyone, and she feel ashamed to tell her story to other people, and even I can't go on like this anymore, but I have no choice to go, and that's why she came there. Other women also telling that I am also treated by my son and daughter-in-law. They verbally abuse me. I have no access to my bank accounts. They may even throw me out. So this was the fear in her mind. They clarified that they don't want to go to the police station because I want to stop this violation in anyhow. And even that another woman also said that I just don't want to be thrown out of the house I'm living in, and that Kusum said that unfortunately the existing law is a criminal one and does not offer these options, because without lodging FIR, that issue can't be resolved. That was the explanation by the activists who work for the women's organization. Now another, throughout the 1990s, the need for a new law was raised in different forums, and these public meetings were also held, and public meetings demanded that we have heard testimonies of several women. We have seen that women want protection against being beaten, the right to continue living in a shared household, and often temporary relief. We need a new civil law to address this issue. And in this way, lawyers lawyers collective, a group of lawyers, law students and activists, after nationwide consultation, took the lead in drafting the domestic violation, that is a prevention and protection bill, and this draft bill was widely circulated, and many women started movements, and they wanted new law on domestic violence, and government should pass that law immediately in the parliament. That was the demand made by the women association, and finally the bill was introduced in parliament in 2002, but there were some drawbacks, and these drawbacks were not these drawbacks were not giving justice to the women against the domestic violence, and that's why again women had raised that issue. And in this matter, several women's organizations, National Commission for Women, made submission to the Parliamentary Standing Committee that there should be some changes which should be acceptable by the number of women in this country. Afterward, the demand of the people was accepted by the parliament, and with the changes, that law was passed in the parliament, and women were very happy to see the law, because this law was giving them protection against the domestic violence. We will try to understand the process of making law in parliament. The making law in parliament. So first of all, when the people are demanding the new law, formation of new law, a draft may be presented or introduced in either house of parliament. It may be Rajya Sabha or it may be Lok Sabha, and afterward this would be referred to the standing committee. Standing committee will review the draft, and afterward it would be considered and passed. That passed bill will be discussed clause by clause discussion, and amendments will be voted, and on that bill voting would be taken, and afterward clause by clause vote and final vote in other houses also. Afterward, it would be sent to the presidential permission assent, and once the president assent got, that would be published in gazette notification, and in this way that law would be come into force. In this way rules are framed, that law is become. So this was the one process in the parliament to make the laws for the people as per the demand. What is the unpopular and controversial law? This is another point to discuss here. Now see, the situation where the parliament passes laws that turn out to be very unpopular sometimes. A law can be constitutionally valid. It is a right as per the constitution and legal also. Still it continue to be unpopular and unacceptable by the people. Why? If the law is not favorable to the people, if the law is not acceptable by the people, these laws may be criticized, and people are free to criticize any law if it is against their interest. People can express their unwillingness to accept because these laws are repressive laws. They considered it, and mass pressure would be put on the government, and this pressure can compel the parliament or government to change or alter the law. And that's why people's role is very important in framing the law. Or if the law is not favorable to the people, if the law is not in the interest of the people, so people can oppose, people can criticize, and in this way parliament can change the law or alter the law or make some amendment, and it can be passed which would be applicable, which would be acceptable by the number of people. So let us try to understand what is the unpopular and controversial laws. So there is one example, municipal laws on the use of space within the municipal area. Now we know that in a city's area there is a marketplace. In marketplace there are some permanent shops and there are some temporary shops. These temporary shops are settled on the footpath, and a use of space within the municipal limits make a hawking and sticky vending illegal. If the road is here, shops are here, these are permanent shops, and in front of the shop if there is a open space, in open space these vendors start their stalls, they set up their stalls, and in this way that road become narrow. And in such condition, when people are going through this way, they are not comfortable because already that vehicles or that vendor shops are occupied the space, and that's why there is a narrow space, and in a large traffic people face a problem. Now if it is desired public places to be open, of course we are agreed for that public places to be open, to walk, to move freely on the pavements easily. Okay. Now, and apart from this, hawkers and vendors are also providing essential services on the cheapest rate. Of course, these are also valuable to us. If the law favors one group and disregard the other, it would be controversial and lead to conflict. Here are people, here are vendor. If we are in favor of the people who are using that way, using that road to be comfortable for the people of the city, and even these people are also very needy. These people's bread and butter is on their daily business, and that's why these peoples also we consider. And now if we are in favor of these people, so these people to be removed from the footpaths. And if we have seen that these people are also these people are also having equal rights to earn their bread and butter in everywhere. So of course these people are facing problems while going here and there, are using that road. And in this way, so in mid, we have to see, we have to find the solution that both sides, both groups, both parties should be satisfied. And in this way we can follow and we can find the solution. Now in such case, if the law favors one group and disregard the other, it would be controversial. We have seen that. And in such condition, people can approach the court. They can demand. Both people are right on their side, and that's why now that court will decide what to be done. So of course we can discuss here. Court has power to modify or cancel laws. That law is passed by the municipal or the state government, that can be modified or that can be cancelled. This is the power to the court, and in this way court plays major role in reviewing the existing law.